College esports and gaming. Esports is being implemented into the collegiate and professional world as we speak. With its growing familiarity and influence on popular culture, esports is spreading throughout the world. As stated by Jane McGonigal, a world-renowned designer of virtual reality games, reality is broken. We need to make it more like a game. As we continue into the future, technology is shaping the path. However, before we can move on, problems need to be evaluated. Problems such as world hunger, poverty, disease, and constant war between nations are major problems. In video games, we face problems that seem impossible, but through perseverance, hard work, and teamwork, these problems seem quite smaller than they actually are. If countries were to go about solving their problems as gamers do in the gaming world, then these problems can be solved much quicker and we can move on. What is esports? An umbrella term. According to Thomas A. Baker III, a professor of sport law at the International Center for Sport Management, and John T. Holden, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Management at the Spears School of Business at Oklahoma State University, esports is an umbrella term that encompasses a variety of gaming tournaments that go over strategy and battle video games. Can esports truly benefit individuals by teaching them important life skills that can be used to change the world? Esports grants players many life skills while helping to strengthen the brain and problem-solving capabilities. Without it, many of the world's greatest upcoming problem solvers won't reach full potential. Gaming and history. The ancient Greek scholar Helvidius tells of the story of the ancient Lydians who were starving. The only game they had was sheep knuckle dice. On every other day, they would play video games to distract from the problem that they didn't have food, and on the other days, they would eat. One day, the Lydians had almost run out of food after 18 years of going on like this. The king split the country into two parts and had them play one final game. The side that won would move out and try to find a new frontier to settle, and the other side would stay there and survive off of what rations they had left. DNA nowadays has been found that the Etruscans, who later became the Romans, have DNA dating back to the ancient Lydians, showing that gaming not only saved the Lydians, but made them one of the most powerful empires in the world. However, there are a few limitations: stereotypes and toxicity. There is a huge rift between traditional college athletes and gamers. College athletes feel like they are sending their bodies past the breaking point, and gaming athletes are just getting in for being lazy and being good at video games. Little funding. Esports teams and players receive very small amounts of money from colleges due to funding already being spent on sports teams. And rifts within families. Parents feel that gaming distracts their children from learning skills in schools that can prepare them for the world. Stereotypes and toxicity. With the implementation of esports into the collegiate world, college athletes feel that they are being taken advantage of. Esports players, they just game, and to traditional college athletes, they see this as being lazy and that they're fake athletes. The colleges add on to this toxicity and stereotyping by only funding traditional sports teams, which leads college esports teams to try and provide for themselves. Nelius Joanna, a reporter of Gizmodo, says that these students who are college gamers work just as hard as traditional athletes and are held to the same academic and ethical standards. However, their scholarships have fewer zeros and they're given much less nicer facilities to work in. Video gaming, however, can connect communities. Games such as Madden and 2K, which are mainly NFL and NBA based games, are played by traditional athletes as a means of relaxation and recreation. This can create a point of coercion between traditional athletes and gamers. Tom Goldman, an editor for NPR News, quotes Trissa Sugita, the CEO of a professional esports team, who comments that the physical barrier that usually creates disproportionality is almost non-existent. Muscle mass, vertical leap, things like that don't exist in games. Therefore, this gives opportunities for both women and men, as esports teams are normally co-ed, which means women are given a chance to show that they can compete against men in any sport. Little funding. College teams must rely on tournament money and what little funding they get from the college itself. Teams go to tournaments and try to win, but some are unsuccessful, and therefore college teams are shut down. According to the Beijing Review, those who question the esports profession focus on whether it's a job at all. Esports is a thriving industry in China, and it's been shown that in the coming 5 years, demand for gamers will reach 2 million. Gaming companies sponsor esports teams. Popular companies like Blizzard, Epic Games, and Riot Games host tournaments where they give prize money to the winning teams. The teams that attend are normally from colleges who have little funding for their college esports teams. Therefore, these colleges are there to win so that they can continue to keep their programs on its feet. Risks within families. In the article titled, "Can Esports Truly Be Regarded as a Profession?" a magazine that covers, by the Beijing Review, a magazine that covers all the latest news in China. Traditionally, esports and video games have been looked down upon by parents because it distracts their children from books and instruments that can help improve brain functions. However, Joanna Nelius refutes this by saying that with gaming, children can learn important aspects such as teamwork and improve memorization and other brain functions such as problem-solving skills. Professionals must plan out time for gaming in order to attend practices, attend tournaments, and get enough room in for schooling. Therefore, they must learn the important skill of time management. Once they've learned and mastered time management, then they will be given time to hang out with their families and friends, which completely just gets rid of that rift between families. And if they are able to balance schoolwork and gaming, then they will be just fine in the world. As esports becomes more common, stereotypes and toxicity will slowly dissipate due to communities being built up between gaming teams and athletic teams. Companies will be able to fund these teams as they gain more income and from increased play of their games and purchasing of their video games. As gaming continues to take part in the lives of children, new skills will be developed, opening up time for family. Many of the parents today grew up without gaming, and this can be a source of bonding for families. Children and family members can both play video games, and this will prepare players for the new world being developed by technology and out-of-the-box thinkers.
So my first question for you is, what evidence did you gather that you didn't include, and why did you choose not to include it?
So I gathered information from a college called UCI, and they have an esports team, and 2 of their players are also on the traditional sports team. But I felt that I couldn't add that because they're kind of from both worlds, and so it didn't really show like the rift. But because I focused on like how the certain video games can create a community, and I didn't really have any way to implement that.
What additional questions emerged from your research? Why are these questions important?
Just what other options companies can do to get college teams money, because tournaments just aren't enough for the teams that lose. And so if there's opportunities for sponsorships or donations that can possibly occur.
Okay.